Search Assistant found a recycling and scrap metal yard that you can buy with as little as $130,000 down and net $320,000 per year after making your monthly loan payments. This assumes you use a 10-year, 11.5%, 2.5% down SBA loan to buy this $3 million business that's advertising a little over $1 million a year in annual cash flow. And then you purchase the $2.2 million real estate using a 25-year, 6.5% interest SBA loan. So now looking at this, these numbers sound okay, not great to take home 300 grand with that large of an investment. But then when we look at the listing, we see that there's also $1.5 million of inventory that you need to purchase in addition to the business and in addition to the land. So the inventory is usually purchased separately because the value of the inventory can fluctuate over time. You want to make sure that you're buying at the fair value of the inventory at the time of purchase. So now adding the financing costs for the $1.5 million of inventory, our after loan payment cash flow falls down to $67,000, which is nowhere near enough for the amount of risk that we're taking on this business. And it even doesn't account for how much time you're gonna have to spend on it. It's really not even a fair salary for you for the work that you're gonna need to do. So I think the problem here is that there's commercial real estate involved, about over 60 acres of property that you have to acquire with this. And real estate market is just broken today. Prices have not adjusted for the increase in interest rates. And there is supposed to be a direct relationship between the price of any asset and the level of funding cost to buy that asset. So in this case, the interest rate should have a direct input into the values of real estate. And we just really haven't seen them coming down, making almost any deal that has real estate attached to it almost unworkable. Now, you could make up for this by paying cash since interest rates are so high. The cost to borrow is really high. If you have the cash, you could use that obviously instead of borrowing the money. The problem is there's better things to do with your cash. I'd almost rather just go and buy a bond fund than go and buy a low yielding piece of real estate. So long story short, I think all in, this deal's overvalued by say $1.5 million, $2 million. A lot of the overvaluation probably comes in the real estate. They might be overstating the value of the inventory. We don't really know, or there could just be a problem with the business of like, why do you have $1.5 million of inventory? Is that really the amount of inventory that you need to run this business? Or is there some type of problem with the throughput of their slowdown in customer demand, and that's causing a buildup in inventory to now you have excess inventory, which in a way that can be a good and a bad thing. So the bad thing is that it shows that there's a slowing of demand for your products, which is obviously not good. The good thing about it is if you come in as a new owner, you can essentially cut down production and start running off that inventory, and that can bring in some nice cash flow, as essentially you can reduce some expenses and bring in some revenue. So I think we might need to give this one some time on the market before I think the seller will accept a price that might actually work. So check out our Search Assistant to find more deals like this or deals that actually will work for you, or reach out if you want to buy a business together.